What's up, everybody, and welcome back. I know it's been a while since my last post, and I know I've said that a few times, but, getting back into the swing of school and whatnot, it took a little longer than I thought, and I was hit with more work than I thought I would be at the beginning, but we're back. I got a new video, and yes, it is another Why You Should Read, because I just found this manga literally yesterday. Now, granted, there are only 10 chapters, so it's not like it's really hard to catch up, and the chapters aren't really that long. But this is Why You Should Read My Student Grew Huge and Proposed to Me, written by Naruse Yoshiki. And again, it's only 10 chapters, and I think I said last time, I said I wasn't gonna do another romance, or at least I was gonna try not to, but I found this yesterday, blazed through it, and I have to recommend it because I love it so much already. So if you figure just by the title, which you probably do, that this is a romance and school life manga, you're right. But again, this is another one of those mangas that are missing a lot of tags, one of which definitely being drama, because in 10 chapters, I don't want to say there's been like a lot of drama, because there hasn't been a lot of drama. I'm not saying like people have gotten hit by cars, gotten into comas, whatnot. It hasn't been anything that crazy, but I mean drama in the sense of like emotional drama that has already taken place, especially at the end of chapter 10, but we'll get there, because I'm probably basically just gonna spoil chapters 1 through 10 in hopes that you read it, because it's fantastic. So this manga is about Shotaro, the main male MC. He's 18 years old, and the female MC, Hinata, who is 35, because, my student grew huge and proposed to me. He was her former student. Now, he wasn't her former student in the sense of like, he went to school there. She is an English teacher for children. So she runs a small little school, I think out of her house, honestly, or out of her apartment, where she teaches kids the basics of English so that they have a framework, I guess, moving forward in life, because she loves English. I don't know why yet, hasn't been explained, but that's what she does. And they met because she approached their house one day. I think she was just going around the community because she just got there, handing out flyers, telling everybody that, hey, if you have kids, you want them to learn English, bring them by, I'll teach them English. And he saw her when he was, I don't know how old he was. I think he was like 8 or something. And he fell in love with her immediately. Actually, he was older than 8. Was he? I don't know. But he fell in love with her immediately. And he's been in love with her ever since. And he kept asking her as a kid if she would marry him. And obviously she was like, haha, that's funny, but no, don't play around with adults like that kind of thing. Until one day he was like, all right, if you would marry me, what would I have to do for you to marry me? And she was like, well, you'd have to grow bigger and be older. And he was like, all right, bet. So when I'm 18 years old, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna propose to you again so that we can get married. And she was like, ha ha ha, right? Playing it off. This is a little kid. It must be a joke. It is not a joke, folks. He comes back the day he's 18, looking like a supermodel at like 6'4". I don't know how tall he is, but I mean, he's tall. And he's like, sensei, let's get married. And she, of course, is obviously like, no, dude, we're not gonna get married. Now, she does get super flustered because he is her type through and through. But obviously, she doesn't want to marry him because she's like, there is a 17-year age gap between us. I'm getting a little flabby and saggy. You're 18. You should marry someone or get a girlfriend your age and get into that kind of relationship, because you want to marry me, but you can't take care of me, can't take care of yourself, you don't have a job yet, you still have a future ahead of you. The general things that you've probably seen if you have read an age gap manga, because age gap mangas are kind of popular right now. They're at least seeming to become more regular. These young guys, older ladies. There's not really the reverse. Sometimes there is. I think I'm reading 2 of the reverse, but there's not really a whole lot of the reverse, but there is there's a lot of young guys, older ladies, and this is another one. Now, the only difference is the feel of this one. The art style is great. The art style in this is fantastic, and I think it helps a lot in the feel of this manga, where it feels more mature. They're saying the same things that you would find in other mangas, but it feels more realistic in this one than in the other ones. Like, it feels more like she's gonna try and actually stick to her guns about it than in all the other ones where they're kind of just like, no, we can't. And then, 15 chapters later, they're like, all right, you got me. In this, it really does seem like, well, it is gonna happen, but she's gonna try and make sure that it doesn't happen, because she is also traumatized by her past relationship. I'm paraphrasing what it says, or what her ex said, but basically he was like, you got a banging bod, but you never want to do anything. You're boring, you're dull, I don't want to be with you. And that kind of traumatized her, so I don't really think she wants to be in a real relationship regardless. Now, she is kind of looking because she downloaded like a dating app, whatever, but obviously he has to melt and heal her heart so that they can be together. Now, at the same time, my man just got asked out by a girl in his school who, it seems like they've been friends for a while. We don't really know how long they've been friends, but I think he's a senior in high school, so maybe they've been friends all throughout high school, but she just asked him out, and he's like, I can't do it because there's someone else that I like. He doesn't tell her that obviously she's 35, but he's like, no, not gonna go out with you, I like somebody else. She pulls an Uno reverse, and like, she goes from being like, that's fine, to I'ma seduce you if I have to. And this is where the drama comes in, and man, I feel bad for my boy, because she did something and he actually got turned on, and he felt so bad. He started crying about it after he ran away, because he loves Sensei, he loves Hinata so much that I guess he felt like it betrayed her. And that's why I'm saying this one, it should have a drama tag, because if it's willing to do something, well, if it's willing to go as far as it has in the first 10 chapters, and I'm not saying it's like adult or ecchi or anything, nothing extreme like that has happened, but I mean, if it's willing to go that far in the first 10 chapters, I can't imagine what's gonna happen in the rest. But I'm locked in, I'm bookmarked, I'm caught up, I'm ready for chapter 11, because this thing is fantastic, and it honestly seems like it's gonna be a decent length story, because she's honestly gonna try and go out of her way to find somebody else so that she doesn't fall in love with him, so that it forces him to move on and find somebody else. So I don't know what's gonna happen. Maybe they start dating other people, then come back together. Maybe it's like a timing thing that they do, which that's a story trope that I hate, but we'll see what happens. All I know is this manga is fantastic. My boy is smooth as ice. I mean, dude's got Riz, which he's using on a 35-year-old, to each their own, I guess. At least he's 18, so we don't have to worry about that. This is just a fantastic manga. It's only 10 chapters. The chapters are not long, to the point where I maybe have to recycle some images, but I would say check it out. Fantastic manga, great time. Can't wait for more chapters. I will have more manga recommendations. I already know the next one, and the next one is another comedy romance. Sorry about that. When I find more, I'll give y'all more. Other than that, like and subscribe to the video, subscribe to the podcast, get yourself some merch. All links are in the description boxes down below. Other than that, I will see all of you in the next one.